Welcome to the Bruce Channel. I'm Bruce, and you know what I really had hoped we'd be talking about here as we start this week was Go Bucks, as in Ohio State. The Buckeyes playing tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, assuming this posts on Sunday morning, but tomorrow night, Monday night, for the National Football Championship. And if you don't follow college football, don't worry, I'm not going to take much time on it. And if you do follow college football, you'll know why I'm not going to spend much time on it. I'm just going to say that while Alabama's perennial position at or near the top is downright annoying, it is because of that we must respect them, even if grudgingly. But I do think that Clemson will beat them. The Tigers lost last year to Alabama, and they've had a year to stew about it, and Clemson's big, really big, and fast, really fast. Their quarterback might be first overall pick in the upcoming draft next spring. Alabama's quarterback is a freshman. Not that freshmen cannot win. But in this matchup, I think Clemson wins. And we'll talk a wee bit of NFL later on. All right. What I wanted to talk about was Ohio State in the championship game, but instead it's the weather. Ironically, I was talking with a friend of mine within the last week or so, and mentioned that for the first time through the holidays, from Thanksgiving all the way through New Year's, first time in a number of years, I think, we didn't have video. Some news stations showing passengers at some airport sleeping at the airport on their suitcases in the seats because some huge storm hit. You know, it could be Philly or Pittsburgh or Chicago, St. Louis, could be anywhere. This year there was a big storm, but it didn't do a lot to the big airports because it was over the northern plains. There were people stuck in cars. Highways were closed, but no vids of people sleeping in airports. But the weather isn't letting go of us. A couple of years ago, I spoke to you of Bama. No, not the Crimson Tide Bama. That's playing tomorrow night. No, Bama. Bread and milk alert, which is genuinely what happens here in the South when there is any snow forecast. If the forecast is for an inch or the possibility of an inch, people went out and stock up on bread and milk. And literally the shelves become empty. So earlier this week there was talk that maybe something was forming in the Gulf, and then it would come up here around week's end, and people started to talk, well, it's a pretty wide-ranging forecast, from an inch or two to almost a foot. They also said the big accumulations wouldn't be over a very wide area, but they couldn't predict where the narrow area would be. So it turns out a lot of that didn't work out. Their forecasts didn't work out so well. Now, I typically don't go on a bread and milk run, but I did look at the pantry. I made my grocery list. I looked at the specials and decided I'll go on Friday. That was a mistake, because bread and milk, I found whole sections of the meat counter were empty. I wanted to pick up an onion. Typically, I get the sweet ones, Valdosta or whatever. They were out of those. They were out of a lot of things. Now, some of that may have been because they had a really good sale going on. Several items, buy two, get three free, and I planned to get three of a lot of things free and stock up for maybe 3 to 6 months. Anyway, I got rain checks. The storm was forecast to start later on Friday. It did. It started about 4 in the afternoon, and here's what I woke up to, but it didn't stop. It didn't stop. It didn't stop until, as they suggested, the end of morning. And in fact, it has cleared up, and the sun is coming out, and lots of folks are getting something out of this. Not so narrow an area, after all. It's going to move up through D.C. and then hit New England. And I'm actually lucky because farther south, it was the dreaded freezing rain. Anyway, school will be out because the overnight low Saturday into Sunday is forecast to be like 9, and then the overnight here, the low overnight Sunday into Monday is around 6. 6 degrees. 6 Fahrenheit degrees. Even in Green Bay, the Sunday forecast is like 10. On the other hand, Green Bay won't be back up in the 60s in a week, but that's what we're expecting. All right, so anticipating the Bama and wanting to show you the shelves, I did take my camera into the store. And while there, I remembered something. I've actually hoped to show you this for a long time, but would always forget my camera. Okay, so one of the best, arguably the best, network drama series ever is The West Wing. Forget the politics. It was the writing and the acting and the production values, and it was just really, really off the charts, especially for network television. But I digress. What brought that to mind and what weaves it into the grocery story is on The West Wing. I think 2 episodes on different seasons. Chief of Staff Leo McGarry would have what was called Big Block of Cheese Day, because that's what Andrew Jackson did. He had a big block of cheese for visitors to the White House. Well, the grocery I frequent is, all right, this is not an ad, but I really like Harris Teeter. They are probably the area's best. And the one near me is huge. It has an in-house bakery, an in-house deli. It has an in-house butcher shop. They make their own sausage. There's a salad bar. There's an in-store Starbucks. And near the deli is a wide array of cheeses. Now, here is a quarter of an enormous wheel of cheese. And there have been times when I've seen the entire wheel. But take a look. That quarter section is over $400, which is why Andy Jackson is on the $20 bill, because you'd need 20 of them, plus a little more, to buy just that quarter of a wheel. All right, so I made that up.
Hey, let me tell you about my book, Shrink. Or wait, I can let others do it.
Welcome back. And by the way, cheese is an okay thing to eat. All right, you may recall, last fall I spoke of working on a film that, on the day that Hurricane Matthew raked across North Carolina, had me going directly into the belly of the beast, figuratively speaking. Anyway, I did go to Raleigh, which is not where the severe flooding was. It was windy and it was wet, but it wasn't where the severe flooding occurred, fortunately. Anyway, I learned too late in the week, last week, to include a mention of it in last week's show, that the trailer for the film, After Yesterday, was being put up online this past Monday, New Year's Day Part 2. So, here is some of the trailer. Now that's really only a teaser of the teaser, because I could only get that via screen capture, but if you Google it, and you have to Google it this way, Vimeo, After Yesterday, and you'll find it. The choices, it'll come up. And if you go to Vimeo first, you just get invited to get an account to join. I didn't see a way to search for anything. Now, I can tell you this. The film itself will be posted publicly tomorrow, Monday, January 9th, and I don't know what time. Maybe not at 12:01 a.m. Maybe not even by 8 a.m., but sometime on Monday. So if you do the exact same thing, Google Vimeo After Yesterday on Monday, sometime you'll find the film and you can watch it. And I hope that you'll like it. I have seen it, in a private screening, and I'm glad to have been a part of it. Very proud to have been a part of it. So sometime tomorrow, check it out. Oh, you could also do the same thing if you haven't previously. Google Vimeo Samka. That's another film that I was in that lives on Vimeo, and which I was also a part of. I'm proud to be a part of. Oh, and Obamaland. Last word that I have is that it's going to be mid-January, which means any day. Mid-January, broadly speaking, mid any month would be from what? The 11th to the 20th. So we'll see. All right, back to college football for just a moment. During one of the bowl games on Monday, I saw the strangest thing. I've never seen anything like this before. For the coin toss, the four captains from each team, from Wisconsin and from the University of Western Michigan, they faced each other, and the referee showed them the coin and did all the things that you'd expect. And there was a guy with a video camera right in there so we could have this wonderful view of all that went on. But the high camera also showed the group, and you could see the guy with the video camera. And there was a guy with presumably a still camera. And then another guy joined. It looked like he had the ID, but look, the guy with the green shirt runs up and shoos the new arrival away, which I have never seen before anywhere. All right, speaking of football, I stand by my pick of New England to win everything. But as one of the two best records in the AFC, they earned a bye, as did Kansas City. So this is being recorded well in advance of any of the games being played. So we'll see. First up, Oakland at Houston. Neither team will make it past next weekend, but one of them has to get to next weekend, so I pick Oakland. The Raiders might actually have had a chance to be a contender, but their quarterback broke his leg just a couple weeks ago. So rookie Connor Cook is making his very first start ever in the pros. I don't think that's how it's going to go. Lions at Seahawks. My head says Seattle, but my gut thinks the Lions may pull off an upset. Sunday's early game is Miami at Pittsburgh, and when they're really, really on, the Steelers can play with anyone. Miami is in the playoff for the first time in a long time, so they'll be celebrating that, but they are the 6th seed, and even if they were a higher seed, they live in Miami, and the game is in Pittsburgh, and you know the weather this weekend? I don't think so. New York Giants, meanwhile, are not strangers to cold, but I think the Packers will beat them. They're playing in Green Bay, and at least some of that game, it's the late game on Sunday, is likely to be played in single digits. It may be close, but I think the Packers move forward. All right, now for some quickies. I saw this, and it comes to us from Grog Comics. Our hero is at the doctor and is told that after the tests and things, he's doing pretty well for a 65-year-old. He asked the doc, well, will I make it to 80? And the doc asked some questions like, do you smoke or drink beer and wine? And the guy says, no, I don't do drugs either. Okay, what about ribeye steaks and barbecue ribs? No, I don't eat red meat at all. I think it's unhealthy. What about time in the sun? You know, golf, sailing, tennis? No. I avoid the sun. What about driving fast? Do you drive fast? Do you gamble? Do you have much sex? And the guy says, no, none of those things. So, kind of saw that coming, huh? Yeah. What the hell you want to live to be 80 for then? All right. Finally, this. A friend of mine shared this on Facebook, but I'm not sure who the originator was, but kudos to him or her. A horse walks into a bar. The bartender asks the horse if he's an alcoholic, and the horse considers how many bars he goes to and how many beers he routinely has, and he finally replies to the bartender, I don't think I am. Poof. The horse is gone. Poof, gone. Now, if you have a bit of philosophy background, if you have a knowledge of philosophy, you may be chuckling already because you may have associated the horse's words, I don't think I am, with one of the foundational propositions of philosophy. Cogitio ergo sum. In English, I think. Therefore I am. And of course, the horse said, I don't think. But if I had explained that to you in advance, well, that would have been putting the cart before the horse. Thanks, Rene. All right, and that's it for this week. As for the week upcoming, I hope it's the best one you've ever had.